So continuing with our videos looking at targets, we had already looked at the static target, a wall target, like what I have behind me, or building your own target. That's good. It's also worthwhile to work with a target that moves. And again, a very traditional one is to hang a golf or a tennis ball up and have it as a standing target. There's a couple different ways to do this. I'm sure there's many. I'll just show you some ones that I do. Probably the most basic is to take your standard golf ball. I don't golf, but you can buy used golf balls or repurposed golf balls relatively inexpensively at most sporting goods stores, or ask friends who might play golf or work at a golf course. All you got to do is drill a small hole, put a little hook in it, tie it to the ceiling like I've done here, and you've got a hanging wall target. Another alternative that you'll also see is people probably with a tennis ball attaching it with strings or a bungee cord to both ends. These have different properties of how they move when you hit them. This one does not move as much and moves right back to space. These hanging are going to move a lot more. And there's pluses and minuses for each one. Comes down to preference. My short preference is any kind of lunge-based attack, rapier, saber, dueling sword, small sword, whatever. I prefer a freestanding target. Something where I might not be doing lunging, I might just be doing advances or mere stepping, perhaps with a side sword or with a two-handed sword. I prefer this bungee cord that doesn't move. That's just my preference. You can try different ones and see what you like. So, for example, different ways what you could do with this. Make sure that you're within lunge distance. And at most basic, you get in your on guard. You're going to just slowly extend your point and lunge and hit the target ideally, right? Now, notice what I did there is I stayed in the lunge, I let the ball come back and hit the point, which stops it, and then I did my recovery. That's one thing you can do to check to see how well you hit the target, make sure it goes right back to the point, and it keeps you from having the target move. That's a exercise. Otherwise, you could do it much more like you would actually during free exchange. Extend, lunge, hit, recover, flex the arm. And now once it moves, this adds on an additional challenge, right? So I could have hit it, come back, reset as I like to keep things easy. Like this. Or I can hit it, let it move, and now I have a moving target, right? And I could add footwork to this. And so on and so forth. As I like. With the target that is secured to the floor, it has a different way of moving. Here, I hit. And so on. I don't particularly care for this with a lunging-based weapon like a rapier or saber. I see a little more utility, like for example if I had a two-handed sword here, and I would be doing, from whatever guard position I would be in, doing some sort of extension, maybe perhaps guardia antrare here, guardia fascia, guardia crocea here, coming in and stepping and hitting the target here. I find that works a little bit better rather than with a lunge base. You could imagine it, with a side sword or something. Here, step. And so on. I don't normally use this target. I set this up for the video. It's not what I normally use, but you might find that this would be somewhat beneficial to yourself.